The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus went out along the sea. All the crowd came to him, and he taught them. As he passed by, he saw Levi, son of Alphaeus, sitting at the custom post. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed Jesus. While he was at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners sat with Jesus and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. Some scribes, who were Pharisees, saw that Jesus was eating with sinners and tax collectors and said to his disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus heard this and said to them, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord. So Jesus comes to call not the righteous, but sinners. We believe in the reality of the original sin, right? That is a fundamental doctrine of our faith. The original sin, the sin that is at our origin. That's where the word original comes from our origin, from where we spring from. The first humans sin. And that sin passed on to us from our origin, right? So, is there a category of people that Jesus has come to call and another category of people that Jesus has not come to call? Or has he come to call all of us? He's come to call us all, right? He's come to call all of us because we all fall short of the glory of God. So, those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. And so sin is a kind of sickness. I tell this story, and I've told it a few times, about shepherds. Shepherds over in the Holy Land. And this comes to me from Father Dennis Carver. Father Dennis Carver said he was visiting the Holy Land, and he ran into a real live sheep with a whole bunch of, a real live shepherd with a whole bunch of sheep. And he asked him a couple of stories about shepherding and sheep. And he said, "Do they really know their names?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "Do they really know your voice?" And he said, "Yes. Except when they get sick. Then they won't follow me. Then they'll wander off." And you know, sin is a kind of sickness. We're all very aware these days of viruses, right? We're all very aware of physical infirmity. But there is an infirmity of soul. And what do we call that? Sin. And Jesus has come to call us. Well, you know, when you call a sick sheep, guess what? He might not even come. So Jesus takes it a step further. What does he go and do to the lost sheep? He picks the lost sheep up and puts him on his shoulders and carries him. Now, this beautiful passage, "I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." You know, it's not like Jesus came down to pass out, flowers and awards to the good people. Jesus came to die on the cross for our sin. Now, remembering that truth, this encounter with Matthew, and the translation that we have here says that while he was he was sitting at his custom post, Jesus said, "Follow me," and he got up and followed him. I was reading a commentary this morning, and they were using the translation, "He rose." I like that a little better than he got up. He rose. So Matthew is in a seating place. Jesus calls him, and what does he do? He rises. Jesus is calling us, right? To rise. To rise from the death of sin. To rise from a life focused on temporary things. So, my brothers and sisters, listen. Jesus is calling me, and he's calling you. He's calling all of us. He's calling us from sin to righteousness. He's calling us from a low place to a high place. And the beautiful thing about Jesus' call is not only will he call us, and this is an image of the cross. He will put us on his shoulders and carry us if he but finds in us a cooperative spirit. So today we say, yes, Lord, I want to follow you. But we have to follow that, yes, Lord, I want to follow you up with true cooperation. As we receive Holy Communion today, we pray that we would be strengthened to rise and follow Jesus, to put behind us our sin and live in the righteousness to which he calls us.